Made it all of the way to medical school before realizing that I had ADHD. I didn't fit the stereotype, but internally I was struggling. One of the biggest misconceptions about ADHD is that you can't be successful in school. So, when I started struggling in medical school, ADHD wasn't even on my radar at that time. I had made it through high school, I had graduated college, I had gotten into medical school. How could I possibly have ADHD when I was doing well in school? But when I started learning more about ADHD, especially how it presents and is underdiagnosed in women, I realized kind of a light bulb moment. A lot of high achieving people are able to compensate for their ADHD symptoms for years. And sometimes they develop elaborate coping mechanisms. Sometimes they're naturally intelligent enough to get by. Sometimes they thrive because deadlines create enough pressure and force them to focus. But eventually, life becomes too demanding for those different strategies that they've come up with to keep working. And for me, medical school was that point for me. The volume of information in medical school was enormous. The pace was relentless, and suddenly the systems that I had built that had gotten me that far, they just were not enough anymore. Looking back, there were signs that I wasn't able to compensate anymore. Specifically, I would sit down to study and somehow I would end up reorganizing my entire desk and not study. I'd read the same paragraph 5 different times and realized I hadn't absorbed a single word that I had read. I constantly underestimated how long tasks would take me. And honestly, one of the hardest parts pre diagnosis was the self criticism. I spent years assuming that my struggles were just character flaws, that I wasn't working hard enough, that I wasn't organized enough, that I was somehow falling short compared to everyone else. When you're surrounded by high achieving people in medicine, it's really easy to assume that everyone else has it figured out. Meanwhile, you're wondering why simple tasks feel so difficult. Getting diagnosed didn't magically solve all my problems, but it did give me a framework for understanding myself. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me, I could start asking, well, what strategies are going to work best for the way that my brain functions? I was able to change my routines, my habits, and build systems around my strengths. That shift was incredibly powerful. If you're a high achiever who's secretly struggling, ADHD doesn't always look the way people think it does. Sometimes the hardest working people are the ones who are masking it the best. If you've had a similar experience, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you're navigating medical school, pre med life, or residency, like and subscribe for more videos about having and managing ADHD in medicine.